The data that we get will consist of a series of slopes, more than two, but I've just written a couple. The force in washers, one washer, two washers, etc. The displacement over which the car coasts down the incline, and the delta t as the car coasts down the incline. From the delta s and the delta t, we're going to be able to figure out the average velocity. Since the car coasts from rest, we can use that information to find the final velocity, so we're going to fill in final velocities here. So again, we're trying to get the force in washers and the final velocity, and we're going to want the delta s over which we timed the car. Now we're going to compare the final velocity to the F delta s. Now this F delta s corresponds to the number of washers multiplied by the distance they fell. Okay? That, in a sense, is what gravity does to the washers. It applies a force to them, and they fall, and the force times the distance they fall tells us how much work gravity has done on them. By hypothesis, except for some frictional errors, that's going to be equal to the work done when the car then reverses and goes down the incline, because it's going to experience a force in this direction that's equal to the force of the washers. Once more, there's a little friction in the pulley, a little friction in the car, so this isn't precisely exactly so, but later on we'll actually compensate for those errors. So we're going to have a final velocity versus F delta s. And the question that we're going to want to answer is, does this graph give us a straight line or a curved line? Or maybe even a curved line that opens upward, that increases at an increasing rate. And then we're going to look at, after we see what this one does, it's going to make a certain amount of sense that we'd want to square the final velocity, and again compare that with our F delta s down here. So the ultimate graph that we're going to get is VF squared versus F delta s. And again, is this a straight line? Is it curved at a decreasing rate? Does it curve at an increasing rate?